to do what?
In the
To humble thee.
To do what?
To humble thee.
Hey, a lot of brothers is gonna get humbled during that time, man. Right. A lot of everybody is gonna get humbled, man. Read.
And to prove thee.
And to do what?
And to prove thee.
A lot of brothers' spirits is gonna get proved in that day, man. It's one thing to say what you're gonna do. It's one thing to say. Hey, Peter said he was never gonna deny the Lord, man. And we all know what happened with that, man. Right? It said to prove thee, man. The Lord got to prove, brothers and sisters. You understand? Everybody's going to get proved in that day, man. Read.
To know what was in thine heart.
Hey, the Lord going to search it out, man. Going to test you. The Lord's going to put you through these different things, these trials, these tribulations. We already go through trials and tribulations, but it's going to go up to a whole nother level during that time, man. To know what's in your heart. Read.
Whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
You see that? And every brother here gonna have to choose, man. You got to choose. Literally, it's gonna be presented right before your face. It's gonna be put on a platter for you.
That's right.
Are you gonna serve the Lord, man? Or are you gonna turn to Satan, man?
Right.
Like Cain did, and went to his doorstep. You never know. You might be a FEMA camp, right? You can't eat none of the food because all the food in there is unlawful food. Are you gonna give in and say, "Hey, the Lord gonna have mercy on me"? Right? We was talking about that a couple weeks ago, but brothers use mercy like it's just something that's just always gonna be there. You don't know how much mercy you got, man. And in that day, that's the last thing I'm gonna be trying to just bang my head on it and eat pork and say, "Oh yeah, the Lord have mercy on me." It ain't nothing else I can eat, so it's either that or die. Hey, brother, it sound like the latter part to me. You understand? Brothers gonna have to make that choice.
Back in Leviticus.
No, finish that.
Verse 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger.
Right? It says, suffered thee to hunger. Guess what? Hey, when we pilgrims on the earth, brothers gonna be suffered to hunger, man. You're not gonna have Maccabees no more, man. You're not gonna have. You can't go in and get the number 5 and get the Big Mac, extra cheese, onions on it. You feel me? You're not gonna be able to get Five Guys. Right? I know brothers love Five Guys, man. You're not gonna be able to get that stuff, man. Right at your disposal. You can't go downstairs, scratch your tummy, and then open up the refrigerator. Right? You can't ask your, hey, can you go fix me? It ain't gonna be like that, man. Brothers is gonna be suffered to hunger, man.
And fed thee with manna.
You see that? Hey, the Lord might feed you with something. We joke about it from time to time, but the Lord might feed you with crickets, man. Grasshoppers. You understand? Plants, and put it right before you. Don't say, man, I don't want to eat that, man. Or that ain't gonna do nothing for me. That's not gonna fill me up. That's off. Right, Reed?
Which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know, that man doth not live by bread only.
You see that, Reed?
But by every word that proceedeth mouth of the Lord.
You see that? That's what we gonna live by in that day, man. You're gonna have to. You don't have a choice. You literally gonna have to live by the words of the Lord in that day, man. That's all you gonna have. That's all you gonna be able to rely upon. That and faith, right? Go to the book of Isaiah chapter 33 and 6. Come on. Right? Because brothers, you're not gonna. Hey, I mean, ain't nothing wrong. We say this all the time. There's nothing wrong with having weapons and so on and so forth, protect your family. There's nothing wrong with those different things, but you don't know how things, events is gonna turn out in that day, man.
The bug out bag.
Yeah, you got the bug out bag. You got all your tools. You got the bag with the plus sign on there, right? You got it stashed under. You got a little hiding spot for it, right? You don't know what's gonna happen in that day, man. Right? Bring that up.
This is the book of Isaiah. Chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge.
You said what?
And wisdom and knowledge.
Wisdom and knowledge, Reed.
Shall be the stability of thy time.
Now your pistol.
The stability of thy time.
Your bug out bag.
The stability of thy time.
Hey, that's what you're going to have to lean on in that day, man. Right?
Khan, all praise to y'all about Shimon Shah. Those are good points the brother made, man. Like, if somebody you can go to John chapter 15, verse 18, Brother Kasha. Because we're not from this land. Right? We're strangers in this land. You know? The Lord said we're not from here.
This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
If the world hate you,
Right.
ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
Right.
If ye were of the world would love his own.
Right. But we not from this world. Right. We strangers in this world. And the Lord going to tell you that. Read on.
But because ye are not of the world.
What the Lord say about us?
Ye are not of the world.
We're not from this world. Read on.
But I have chosen you out of the world.
Right.
Therefore, the world hateth you.
Right. The world what?
The world hateth you.
The world hates us, man. That's why we go from place to place. While we sojourning in this land. Our forefathers were strangers in lands they knew not, man. Go to Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1, Baba Kasha. Our forefathers were strangers in these lands, man. All right. Let's see what the Lord told Abraham to do.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12 and verse 1.
That Edomite is hot over there. Read what you got.
Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country.
What the Lord say?
Get thee out of thy country.
Get thee out of thy country. That's what he told Abraham. Read on.
And from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will shew thee.
And guess what? Abraham had to get up and go, man. He didn't ask the Lord any questions. He said, where we going? What time do I got to leave? Well, hold on, Lord. Oh, this is just so sudden. No, he didn't say any of that, man. Right? Jump down to verse 5.
The book of Genesis, chapter 12
Start at verse 4.
and verse 4.
Bring it on.
So Abram departed,
Right?
as the Lord had spoken unto him.
Right?
And Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
How old was he?
75 years old.
I mean, you would tell brothers departing, they, oh, man, I'm tired. I can't, you know what? He was 75 years old. Got his stuff and left, man.
Right.
Read on.
And Abram took Sarah, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son,
All right.
and all their substance that they had gathered,
Uh-huh.
and the souls that they had gotten in Haran.
Right.
And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan.
Right.
And into the land of Canaan they came.
Went into the land. And he didn't know anything about the land of Canaan. The Lord just told him to go there. Right. But it doesn't stop there. Jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. And he removed from this on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent.
And did what?
And pitched his
What we
tent.
supposed to be doing?
And pitched his
And
tent.
that's what Abraham did. He pitched his tent. Right. Read on.
Having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east.
All right.
And there he builded an altar
Uh-huh.
unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord.
And people think Abraham stopped there. No, the Lord had more for Abraham. Keep going.
And Abram journeyed.
What did he do?
And Abram journeyed,
Got his stuff and got up again and journeyed. And where was he going? Read on.
going on still toward the south.
Right.
And there was a famine in the land.
Uh-oh, there was adversity. Right. There was famine in the land. So Abraham had to do what? He had to get up, get his tent, get all his substance, and he had to go somewhere else again, man. On the move. Right. Read on.
And Abram went down into Egypt.
Where'd he go?
Went down into Egypt
Read on.
to sojourn there. For the famine was grievous in the land.
Read Genesis 13 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Now he went to Canaan, then went south towards Egypt. Read on.
And Abram went up out of Egypt.
Now he's leaving Egypt. Read on.
He and his wife,
All right.
and all that he had, and Lot with him, and to the south.
All right.
And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
Uh-huh.
And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning,
Right.
between Bethel and
He
Hai.
went all the way back. Right. Jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents.
And tents, man. And everywhere, man. Right? Some stuff happened in the road. They had to go to Egypt. Left Egypt, went right back into the land of Canaan. Right? And they tell you, hey, when you travel much, you get a lot of experience, man. Right? Read this in Sirach chapter 34 and verse 9, Baba Kashan. I'm going to have y'all read this in the GNT. Read it, Baba Kashan.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
It says, a well-traveled person with wide experience knows many things and talks sense.
And what?
And talks sense.
So Abraham had a lot of experience. He knew many things. He's seen many things, man. Right? Went a lot of places, man. Right? Read on.
You can't know much if you haven't experienced much.
Right?
But travel,
But what?
but travel
Right.
can make you more clever. Travels, I have seen many things and learned more than I can put into words. I have been in danger of death many times.
So we know Abraham has been in danger and death many times. I mean, the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, wanted his wife, man.
Right.
He's like, hey, look, you my sister. You're not my wife, you my sister. And he was very clever, man. Right? Read on.
And but I have always been able to escape by relying on past experience.
See that? And Abraham, he relied on past experiences, man. Right now, Sirach chapter 34 and verse 9. Right? And we understand that our forefathers were strangers in all these lands, man. Go to Genesis chapter 37 and verse 1. Actually, Genesis chapter 34 and verse 30. All right.
This the book of Genesis, chapter 34 and verse 30. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land,
Right.
amongst the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number.
What do you say?
And I being few in number.
Bro, we surrounded by these nations, man. The Lord is our shield and our protection, man. Right? We few in number. We need the Lord. Read on.
They shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed. I am my house.
Right? Because guess what? He was a stranger in the land of Canaan, just like his fathers, man. Just like Isaac and just like Abraham as well. Read Genesis 37 and verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And Jacob dwelt in the land,
Right?
wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan.
See that? So our fathers were strangers in lands they knew not. We're strangers in America. We're not from here, man. Right? And it's gonna come points in times where we gonna really have to make tents, man. Right? They're gonna be chasing you. Right? They're gonna be trying to make you denounce the name of the Lord. You're gonna be on foot, man. I mean, brothers travel from all over to come to Indiana, man. Right? And we do it on the feast. The Lord is getting us prepared for traveling, man, on the earth. Right? So we can learn much experience for that day. But I use.
God, all praise to the Most High. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse number 40. Right, 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 40. So like the brothers is going into, that's what we're going to be in the last days, man. It's going to come a point in time where you're not going to be comfortable. And you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because you're going to have many-fold different uncomfortable situations in your future. And you have to get immune to that. Right? A lot of brothers, the Lord is putting things in your life for a reason. So to get you prepared for that moment. Right? If you never catch any hell, no affliction, the truth is a cakewalk for you. You just folding your fringes up, just got doing laundry. Nice study session in. No affliction. Birds chirping. Right? Car never breaks down. House is always neat. Well, brother, you gonna have a hard time, man. Versus a man, he's getting experience from the manifold different things that he's going through. So when he's in that day now, he's immune to it. Nothing can affect him. Nothing can move him. Right? So you can bring that out, Ken.
This the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 40.
No.
O my people, hear my word.
Right?
Make you ready to the battle.
It says what?
Make you ready to the battle.
And we can prepare for the battle right now. You will be a fool to get prepared for the battle when the battle starts. Only a wise man is going to get, okay, the battle coming, let me get prepared. Let me get ready. Right? He's probably getting in shape, doing what he have to do. Read on.
And in those evils, be even as pilgrims.
Be what?
Be even as pilgrims.
And the Lord said in those evils, you're going to be as pilgrims. Read on.
Upon the earth.
You're going to be pilgrims upon the earth, man. Right? Nomads. All right? The Israelites, they was a nomadic people, man. Abraham, he was a nomad. Right? Isaac, Jacob, wanderers, man. Just on the go. And it's a lot of different things, spiritual things as well. Because a pilgrim, he has to, he has to be able to lead. Right? For example, like Lot. Right? Let's go to that in Genesis chapter 18. Actually, Genesis 19. Right, let's go to Genesis chapter 19 and verse. Start at verse 13.
This the book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord.
Right?
And the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get ye out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law.
Right, so the Lord told him, hey, I'm finna destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, man, for the great wickedness. All right? And he telling his son, Lot gotta hurry up and get out of there. Read on.
And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city.
Right, and this is like Sodom and Gomorrah all over again, man, because we got to get up out of here. All right, not just on the physical level, but on the spiritual level. It's certain things you have to detach from, man. Right, certain brothers, they still attached to this world, man. Right, reminiscing, man. Old Eve in the world, you still attached to her. Still attached to your dog, your family members. You have certain jakes, they can't stop being around their grandmother. What about my grandmother? Is she going to get saved? Brother, she might not be saved, brother. And you have to accept that. Right? You have certain brothers, they have children that's not in the truth. You don't think that's hard for them to deal with? Dang, my own son, I don't even know if he might receive salvation. Right? That might be hard for a brother. But he has to detach from that. He has to get up out of there. Or else he's going to let that attachment that he's attached to, he's going to be destroyed right with that attachment.
Right.
All right? So it's either detach and be a pilgrim on a spiritual level, or you're going to be destroyed right with whatever you attach to it. Whether that's demons, your lust, right? You doing the things of your own mind. Right? Read on.
Verse 15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hasted Lot.
Verse 16.
Verse 16. And while he lingered.
And what?
And while he lingered.
Read that again.
And while he lingered.
Hey, Lot was lingering. Now, why was Lot lingering? Right? It's a lot he got to deal with. He probably had, businesses set up. All right? It's things, he probably meditate, dang, I really have to go. But guess what? The point is he lingered. Like the brother brought out in Genesis 12 and 1, Abraham was ready, man. Abraham didn't linger. He was able to, oh yes, I'm about to go right now. It is what it is. So you don't want to be like Lot and lingering, to get up out of there. On a spiritual and a physical level. Read on.
And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand.
Right.
And upon the hand of his wife. And upon the hand of his 2 daughters. The Lord being merciful unto him.
It says what?
The Lord being merciful unto him.
And that's the mercy of the Lord, man. Right? Because it's plenty of times the Lord told us to get up out of there, be a pilgrim on a spiritual level, detached, and we were still lingering. He was still cleaving into it. We still didn't want to let it go. But guess what? Like always, the Lord always have mercy, man. If it wasn't of the Lord's mercy, we'll be consumed.
Right.
Right? That's written. Read on.
And they brought him forth and set him without the city.
Right? So, hey, guess what? The Lord did Lot a favor, man. I got one more. Let's go to Genesis chapter 47 and verse number 9. Genesis chapter 47 and right. So when it's time to be a pilgrim, it's a lot to think about, man. Right? It's a lot to meditate on. Certain brothers, they meditate on that right now. And then you're going to have men, they're going to be meditating on their job. How they could get a promotion. Right? Yeah, I was a picker. I want to be at the dock. Right? That's off, brother. All right? You want to be meditating on spiritual things, man. Okay, is my spirit built up enough for when these times come? Do I have enough confidence to survive those days? Do I have what it takes? Am I mentally there? Am I physically in shape? These are the things you have to be thinking about. All right? Because as brothers could know, the times is moving fast, man. Right? Next year, the year finna be over with. All right? It's finna be 2024. Then 25. Lord, God forbid, but then 26. Brothers gonna see their daughters, sons raise up. and that time is gonna pass away. So you can bring that out.
This the book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years.
So Jacob was a pilgrim for 130 years. Imagine that, right? Read on.
Few and evil.
He said what?
Few and evil.
No blessings.
Few and evil.
He said few and evil. Read on.
Have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage.
See that? So Jacob said few and evil, man, have been the life of the days of my years. All right? So this is something to meditate and think upon while we at the Feast of Tabernacles right now. Because everything is spiritual. You got it.
God, all praise to the Most High. Brothers bringing it out mighty, man. So first get Judges 5 and 11. All right, get Judges 5 and 11 real quick.
This the book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Right?
They that are delivered from the noise of the archers
Right?
in the place of drawing water.
It said, in the place of drawing waters. Real quick, just to show what that is, get the last verse in Joshua 9. I believe it's verse 24. Right? When it's dealing with the place of the drawing waters. Because what you're going to find out is that's the place we're in now. The place of drawing waters. Right? Bring that up.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 9 and verse 27.
Right?
And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood.
Right, this is Joshua, right? Dealing with the heathen, the Canaanites, right? He made them hewers of wood, read.
And drawers of water.
And what?
And drawers of water.
Right, so he made the heathens drawers of waters for the Levites in the temple. They were basically slaves. So when it says you're in a place of drawing waters, it's a place of your servitude, right? A place of slavery, right? So go back to Judges 5 and 11.
The book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Right?
They that are delivered from the noise of the archers,
Right?
in the places of drawing water,
Right, in captivity, read.
there shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
What the Lord say?
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
Right, so first and foremost, I want everybody to clap it up for the Most High, man.
Right.
Are we rehearsing the righteous acts, man? Right, in the land of our captivity, man. Right, and the heathen hate to see it, man. The heathen hate to see the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans coming together, man.
Right.
She's still back there looking.
Right, yeah, we come together. We ain't making no ruckus. We ain't listening to foul rap music. We ain't smoking weed. We just come together reading the Bible. They can't believe it, man.
Right.
Right, because the Lord did that, man.
Right.
Right. Give me Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 27, man. Right, so clap it up for the Most High, man. Right, gotta get the Lord ahead, man. And then he got it together. Right, so bring that precept up.
God, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 27.
Right.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man.
Right.
And with the seed of beast.
Right, and that's where we at now, man. We surrounded by beasts, man. Right, not just the crickets and critters, but you know, all the nations, man. Right, all these other nations, man. Beasts. Even the 2/3 of our people, man, live on vile like beasts. Right, so the Lord sowed us among these nations, right, read?
And it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them,
Right,
to pluck up and to break down and to throw down,
Right.
and to destroy and to afflict.
the Lord said he sold us among these nations to destroy us, man. Because what happened to us when he sold us? Right, we got our backs beat in. Right, we got our babies fed to alligators, man. Right, raped, robbed, and murdered, destroyed, skinned alive. Right, they made coats and shoes out of our skin, man. Right, keep reading.
So will I watch over them to build.
To do what?
To build.
And this is the Lord watching over us to build, man. Because just like he told the third horse, that black horse, he said, hey, kind of leave a little bit of the wine and the honey, man. Right, don't get rid of all of it, you know, because my people go come back in this thing, man. And that's what you're witnessing right now. We coming back, man. Right, keep reading.
And to plant,
Right,
saith the Lord.
right, keep reading.
In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten the sour grape,
Right,
and the children's teeth are set on edge.
right, because our forefathers sinned, so we had to suffer for all their sins. But now that we coming back, we don't got to say that no more. We actually building something, man. And that's what we doing. So the Lord gave us the Feast of Tabernacles, gave us these feast days. It's deeper than just, oh, it's just a camping trip, man. Like the brothers bring it out, it's literally practice and rehearsing for the wilderness. He's actually giving us things that we're going to need in the future, man. Skill sets that brothers would have never had in the world, man. Jake would have never kind of learned how to. I remember my first year, I'm kind of trying to figure out the 10. I'm like, dang, how I figured it's scratching my head. But now you kind of set it up in 2 minutes, man. Kind of getting in that thing, man. Right, so our forefathers, that's how they rock. Matter of fact, get Judith, I believe the 8th chapter. Right, let me find it real quick. Get Judith. Right, chapter 8 and start verse 4. All right. Yeah. Judith chapter 8 and verse 4.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 8 and verse 4.
Right.
So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years.
Right.
And 4 months.
Right.
And she made her a tent.
And she did what?
She made her a tent.
And so Judith made a tent, man. Right, a woman, man. So you brothers, you gotta kind of get in this thing, man. Brothers don't know how to set up a tent, man. You don't know how to build. You don't know how to change a tire, man. But Eve in the ancient world, she was kind of building a tent. You think that they had instructions and you kind of the easy pop-out tent? Oh, man, they had to actually make these things, man. A widow woman made a tent, right? Get Nehemiah chapter 8, right, and get verse 15.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse 15.
Right.
And that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities.
So like, start at 14.
Verse 14.
Right.
And they found written in the law, which the Lord had commanded by Moses.
Right, of course, because, you know, they was making different copies of the law. They kind of
in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, go forth unto the mountain.
right, so they was going into the mountains, man. Right, kind of going into the mountains, into the woods, right, Reed?
And fetch branches.
Right.
And pine branches. And myrtle branches. And palm branches. And branches of thick trees to make booths, as it is written.
Right, so they used these different branches to create these tents. So Judith knew how to do that, man. Kind of went to the mount, picked up the sticks, and kind of did her thing and built the tent. Right, and how does that help us now is because, again, we're going to be pilgrims in the earth, so we have to know how to do these things. Right, like the Lord said, faith without works is dead, man. You can't not know how to fish and magically Jacob's trouble happened and, the Lord is going to give me the wisdom, brother. You fat, you out of shape, you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to do anything. Like brother, put in some works, bro. Yeah, you got your shoes on the wrong feet, shoes untied, you tripping over yourself. And you talking about, the Lord going to give me the... Like, hold on, brother. Like, you got to know how to govern. Like, the Lord even said you got to know how to govern yourself and your family before you can govern the church. So how much more know how to do certain things before He give you that power? So I just wanted to bring that out, man, and clap it up to the Most High that we get to keep this feast day and to show, man, that the Lord is doing this for a purpose. So we can, know how to maneuver in these last days when it's needed. It's not just, a camping trip, right? It's actually, good skills that the Lord has given us, man. Right? With that, I yield.
Khan, all praises to the Most High. Can you give me the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 10? Right, because, like the brother was bringing out, Zabayah, right? Hey, we strangers in this land, man. Right, we was brought over here captive, right, to serve our enemies because of our disobedience, right? And before all hell break loose, like the brother Tazima brought out, we can't linger. Right, when it's time to go, we gotta be ready, man. Right. So on a spiritual level, we have to physically flee from the wine of Babylon, right? Because it's getting a lot of people drunk. A lot of people is following after the ways of Babylon, man. Right, and on the spiritual level, we have to leave this place. Bring it up.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 10. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country?
We what?
In a strange country, that thou art defiled with the
The
dead.
Lord say,
That thou art defiled with the
and
dead.
these other nations, hey, they are the dead. Because he said, them that wandered out of the way of understanding are in the congregation of the dead.
Right.
So we follow these people, right? Hey, we in the dead, man. So we have to come out of this place, right, mentally. Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse number 6. Get all right.
This the book of Jeremiah. You said 51 and 6, right?
Con.
Chapter 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
What the Lord say?
Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
We're gonna have to flee out of this place on a spiritual level and on a physical level, right? Read on.
And deliver every man his
So
soul.
we gotta do what?
Deliver every man his soul.
Because when that time comes, hey, a lot of people's gonna die on the earth, right? There's gonna be a lot of famine, a lot of death, a lot of uprise, like a lot of families going against each other, brothers going against each other, right? So we're gonna have to flee out of this place. We don't.
Right. Be not cut off in her
He
iniquity.
said what?
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
That's that wine that a lot of people drunk off of, man, right? Because they cut off in their iniquity, right? And they following after the ways of this world, right? We don't.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
Right, and that's what's coming to this earth, man. So we have to flee first on the spiritual level, and then when that time comes, we don't want to linger, right? We want to be ready to go out of this place, right? And when the Lord comes back, right? Give me the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 10 that goes with that.
Bring it out, bring it out.
This the book, you say, 3 and 10.
You kind of 2 and 10.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Arise ye and
I
depart.
said what?
Arise ye and depart.
And that's on a spiritual level. We have to arise and depart. Right? We bring that a lot at camp. Right? Tell brothers that we have to get out of this place. Right? First, we have to start with ourselves. First, we have to come back to the commandments. Right? First, we have to learn what we have to do to please the Most High. Right? So that we can get out of this place and the Most High find a favor in His eyes, man. Right? We don't.
For this is not your rest.
Said what?
For this is not your
This
rest.
is not our right. Having to wake up every day, go to work, right? Having to work for the so-called white man in the other nations, right? This is not our rest, man. Right? We're looking forward to the kingdom, right? Rulership, right? Us in unity, right? That's what we're looking forward to, man. Right? So we have to spiritually come out of this place, right? So when the Lord comes, they be ready to go, man. Right? Give me the Give me the book of Job chapter 20 and verse number 5. What's the lock here? First, can you go back to Baruch real quick? Baruch 3. You can start at 11.
This is the book.
She's lock at 12.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
Thou hast forsaken the fountain of
He
wisdom.
said what?
Thou hast forsaken the fountain of
Right,
wisdom.
and that's the Lord, man. Right? That give us that living water, right? Which is the word, we don't.
For if thou hast walked in the ways of Yahweh,
He said what?
if thou hast walked in the ways of Yahweh,
Uh-huh.
shouldest have dwelled in peace forever.
How long?
Forever.
Right, we would have dwelled in peace forever. Right, but through our disobedience, now we're in our enemy's land, right? And now we have to flee, right? But we would have dwelt forever. We would just follow the commandments, right, and follow after the Most High. Right now, go to Job real quick, because I want to give people hope. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, when that time comes, right, the people that's been keeping the commandments, having that faith, there's nothing to worry about in those days, man. The Lord's gonna deliver you out of there. Bring it up.
What you want to do?
Job 20 and 5.
This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall flee away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold in.
She like it. That like it. Let's find this precept real quick. That was fire. Yeah. It's 5 and 20. So like it.
Wow.
So like you started 19. So like it.
This the book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7. There shall no evil touch thee.
What the Lord say?
There shall no evil touch
Right,
thee.
so the Lord is gonna deliver those men in those days, man. And no evil is gonna touch them. Right, we don't?
In famine he shall redeem thee from death,
Right?
and in war from the power of the
Right, and
sword.
that's what's coming on the earth, right? Famine, death, the sword, right? But those men that had faith in those days, he's gonna deliver you out of those, you know?
Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue,
Uh-huh.
neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine, at destruction and famine,
That's what's coming on the earth, you know?
thou shalt
He
laugh.
said what?
Thou shalt laugh.
And that's to give brothers hope, man. Right? In that day, the men of the Lord, they're going to be laughing. Right? Because we already knew that this was coming. We already knew that we had to flee through the Spirit, right? And we was already ready. We didn't linger. We didn't wait. Right? We was ready to go, right? And the Lord's going to deliver those men in those days. And we going to laugh because we know what's coming after that. We don't.
Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Right? So in those days, we're not going to be afraid. Right? So I want to exhort brothers, man, to, you know what I'm saying, continue to stay on fire. Continue to get out of this place spiritually, man, and be ready when the Lord get back.
All right.
Praise.
Okay, so, brother, you can go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Because we follow the Lord, right? We follow the Lord, so we got to see what the Lord did, man. We got to see what our forefathers did. Read what you got.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Right?
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Right? So Paul was a follower of Hamashiach, man. So we got to see what the Lord did, and we'll see what Paul did and see what we got to do as well. Go to the book of Matthew, chapter 8. All right? And start at verse 20. Start at verse 19.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 8 and verse 19.
All right?
And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest.
So, Lord, I'm wherever you go, I'm going. Right? Wherever you go, I'll go. And that's what we say. That's what a lot of people say. But what the Lord respond with?
And Yahushua saith unto him, the foxes have holes.
Yeah, these animals have holes, man. When you start raining outside, a fox can go into his hole and receive comfort. Read on.
And the birds of the air have nests.
So they have their dwelling place. Read on.
But the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head.
So the Lord don't got nowhere to lay his head, man. I mean, he's always on the go. He doesn't have a certain dwelling place, man. Like one morning I'm here, right, and then I'm over here, man. I'm in this city. I may be on this brother couch, then I got to travel the next morning. I'm on this brother couch, man. This family opened up to me, and then that's why I'm back on the road tonight, man. That was the life of the Lord. That was the life of Paul, man. Right? That's the life of some brothers now, man. Go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, and start at verse 22. See what Paul said. All right, let's see what Paul was doing. Let's see if he was a follower of the Lord.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 2.
22.
Slakia. In verse 22. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I.
All right.
Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I.
So Paul's going to kind of break down what it means to be a stranger, what it means to journey often, what's going to come with that, right? Let's see if it's just all roses and peaches. Let's see if it's comfortable. All right, read on.
Are they ministers of Hamashiach? I speak as a fool.
All right.
I am more, in labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent,
Right.
in deaths oft.
Right.
Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one.
Read on.
Thrice was I beaten with rods.
Man, we have people that want to put Paul in prison, man. Right? People who's trying to beat Paul, chasing him, man. Right? Read on.
Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
Hey, thrice you suffer shipwreck, man. Brothers maybe traveling, your car go down. Then you in the middle of went through these things, man. Imagine being in the Atlantic Ocean and it's just you. Right? And you suffer shipwreck. What do? Paul went through that 3 times. Read on.
A night and a day I have been in the deep.
Read on.
In journeying off.
And what?
In journeying off.
Paul was in journeyings often. Right? Read on.
In perils of waters. In perils of robbers. In perils by my own countrymen. In perils by the heathen.
Right?
In perils in the city.
And you tell a brother you got to do this. Look, I got a job for you, but you may get robbed. Right? You may have some people that act like they like you. They're not going to. You may suffer some shipwreck as well. Right? People may try to beat you. Right? I mean, guess what? You may be hungry at certain times. You're not going to be able to eat. Right? I mean, you may get 3 to 4 hours of sleep max. Right? Would you want to sign up for this position? How many people going to say, yeah, man? Right? They're going to look the other way. They're going to walk off, man. This is the life of the Lord. Right? This is for the kingdom. Read on.
In perils in the wilderness.
Right? In the what?
In the wilderness.
Read on.
In perils in the sea.
Right?
In perils among false brethren.
Right?
In weariness and painfulness.
In what?
In weariness and painfulness.
In weariness and painfulness, man. Painful thing to be out there, man. Right? When you're a stranger. In somewhere you don't know. Read on.
In watchings often. In hunger and thirst. In fastings often. In cold and naked.
In cold and naked, man. And when it comes with journeying, if you're not from that place, you got to stand guard. You got to watch, man. Right. You don't get sleep, man. You don't know who's around there. You don't know who's around your tent. You don't know who's around your family. You don't know these people. So what the Lord said, go to 2 Ezra chapter 2 and start at verse number 13.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them whose name was Abraham.
Is 2 Ezra 2 and 13?
That's 3
How you do
Con, the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened.
All right.
The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch.
What the Lord say?
Watch.
Go to sleep.
Watch.
Watch. You gotta watch, man. I mean, it's not gonna be easy watching either. You want to go to sleep, right? Weary, your body hurt, your flesh hurt. You've been walking all day. The soles of your feet hurt. You just want to sit down, but you can't. You gotta stand up on your feet, man. Right. Go to the book of Matthew, chapter 26, and start at verse 38. Let's see what he told his disciples to do. All right. Gotta have your brothers back in this thing as well.
That's right.
What you got?
This the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 38. Then said he unto them,
Right.
My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me.
What did he ask them to do?
And watch with me.
And watch with me. You don't think they wanted to go to sleep, man? Right? He said, watch with me. I'm your brother, man. Can you watch with me? Read on.
And ye went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou findeth them asleep.
He did what?
And findeth them
He
asleep.
found them asleep. Read on.
And saith unto Peter, What? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
You know how long an hour is? That's 60 minutes. Right? A lot of things can happen in that hour, man. A lot of things could have went down. We know this is the Lord, right? But hey, on a carnal level, your homie said, hey, you can watch out for me real quick, and you go to sleep on him if something happened, man. That's on your head, man. Right? All you have to do is stay up this 1 extra hour. We know we've been journeying all day. We know we've been through this all day, but hey, just watch with me 1 more hour. And what the Lord say? Read on.
Watch and pray.
What the Lord say?
Watch and pray.
Read on.
That ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
And we know Esau is our enemy on these other nations on a carnal level, so we got to watch physically, but you also got to watch spiritually as well. Right. Let Satan catch you sleeping, man. Right? And guess what? Now it's over. Now you in sin. Right? So we got to watch in all levels because we're pilgrims on the earth, man. We're not from here, man. Right? But you got it.
I wanted to make a point on something you said.
I just wanted to make a quick point on what he brought out about Paul going through all those different perils and traveling, like especially shipwreck. You know, Jake, you know, they might get in a car accident and things like that, and that'll deter them from doing the work and traveling and things like that. And that's all. You gotta have the spirit of Paul. He literally got 3 shipwrecks. You would think he would just stop jumping on the ship. You got brothers, they scared to get on the airplane, right? Hey, brother, you gotta travel, brother,
Right.
and do what you gotta do, man. Right, to get this working. So I just wanted to make that point on that.
Con, that's right, man. That's right. Real quick, the brothers bringing out beautiful and mighty points, man, and we gotta understand and realize that these things that's gonna be our strength in that day, which is the Most High God ultimately, right? And through that, like the brothers I brought out, you understand these things and these accounts and our forefathers that went through these different things. They not just in there. I say this all the time. They not just in there to read for a bedtime story and then put your thumb in your mouth and turn over on your side.
Right.
It's not what it's for, man. It's literally for you to learn from these men and women that's in the scriptures, man. Learn from these accounts. Real quick, give me that in the book of Romans chapter 15. Bible shot. And verse 4. Right? These things is literally here for us to be able to learn from. It's the blueprint, man. And it's the greatest blueprint upon the face of the earth. Right, bring this up.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
It said, for whatsoever things was written aforetime, meaning what? In the past, man. The things that's written in these scriptures, read.
Were written for.
Not just for a bedtime story.
Were written for our learning.
Right? It's written for your learning, man. Not to just read the scriptures and then don't do nothing that the scriptures tell you.
Right.
You can't do that. You can't be like that in this truth. You can't read. You done read the whole Bible over and over again, but not modeling yourself after the scriptures, man. You doing it in vanity. You just reading just to read. Right? Read on.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures.
There go that word patience again. But it said through patience and comfort of the scriptures. Brothers got to use this Bible as comfort, man. When you going through those trials and tribulations, obviously you got your brother, Lord willing, you got the brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever the case may be. But use these scriptures as your comfort, man. The Most High God, man. Read.
Through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Might have what?
Might have hope.
Right, and that's what we hope in at the end of the day, the Most High God, man. And the things that he set forth.
Patience and consolation grant you to be like-minded.
Right, that's it on that, right? So these different things, we got to understand that these accounts that brothers is bringing out, the accounts that you read on your own time, it's all for your learning. It's for you to put to use and to learn from. You understand? Right, real quick, go to the book of First Maccabees. First Maccabees chapter 2 and start at verse 27. Right, because brothers have brought out many points of times when our forefathers, they had to be on the go. They had to get up and they had to make moves, man. Right, it's all throughout the scriptures. Right, bring this up.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 27. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law.
Is what?
Whosoever is zealous of the law.
Right.
And maintaineth the covenant.
Right, and and in those days, man, you're gonna have to be zealous of the law, man. You're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to stand on the words of the Lord, man. Brothers say it all the time, 10 toes. People in the world be 10 toes for wickedness, man. People be 10 toes for weed. I'm standing 10 toes behind this pack, man. I'm standing 10 toes behind this, whatever, man. And you gotta be 10 toes for the words of the Lord, man. That's how our forefathers was. They stood 10 toes, our righteous forefathers, they stood 10 toes for the law, man. Right? And was willing to die behind it, man. Right, Reed?
Let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains.
Into the where?
Into the mountains.
Reed?
And left all that ever they had.
Now they tried to take their house with them.
Left all that ever they had.
They tried to hook the damn garage up to the back of the truck and take it with them.
Left all.
Right. They didn't take the Xbox One. Right. They didn't try to pack a bunch of food and they got up out of there, man. They left all that they had, man. Read.
Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
And guess what? That's exactly how it's going to come again. Tell you that in the scriptures. The Lord requires that which is past. And this is coming back on the earth, man. It's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to forsake all that you have.
Right.
You're gonna have to flee into the mountains and in the wilderness, man. Right? Read.
Both they and their children and their wives.
So the Lord, so we always, obviously the focus is on the men of the Lord, man. Right? The brothers, the men. You understand? But you gotta also understand and realize, guess what? Hey, the children not exempt. You understand? The women not exempt. Hey, they gonna have to be right on the go as well, man. It's not just just all the men they just gonna have to deal with it and like that. Hey, they gonna be on the go too. They gonna be right. We don't know everybody's lot, but they might be with you. They might, however it turned out, but they gonna have to go through these different things as well. So for brothers that have households, you understand, hey, we got to build children up, man. Right, Rito?
And their cattle, because afflictions increased.
Because what?
Because afflictions.
Right? Jacob's trouble is around the corner. We say that all the time, man. And it's getting closer and closer. If you feel like it's not, that's because you're not watching. Straight up. If you feel like things are slowing down, you're just not watching. You understand? But afflictions is going to continue to increase and increase and increase, Reed.
Afflictions increased sore upon them.
Uh-huh.
Now, when it was told the king's servant.
That's it on that, right? Go to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16. Right? And I believe I'm on verse 75, or start at 72.
This the book of Second Esdras.
Start at verse. Start at 71.
God, verse 71.
So like it start at 70.
Verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection.
It said in every place. That don't mean you can go to Africa and just somehow everything is gonna skip over you because you're in Africa now, right? With him. Hey, guess what? They gonna be on your ass too, man.
Right.
You can't run from this. You can't. You can't. There's no everywhere throughout the earth, man. It's gonna be a great insurrection, man. Right. Upon who? Upon the men of the Lord, man.
Right.
You understand, Reed?
A great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
You see that? They gonna be coming, man. They know brothers that be on the videos, man. They're not just the ones that's out there teaching and doing the work of the Lord. They know every brother, every sister that's on there typing "con" with all the fire emojis and all that different stuff. You're the first one on the comment board every video. They know, they see you. Check your IP address. Yeah. Nah, for real. They know these different things, man. They know how many times you watch videos. They know your search engine. That's why even on your phones and cellular devices, it's a thing it pop up about cookies. And they ask if they can track all your different things. That's why you'll be searching for a tent. And next thing you know, you on some social media site or on somewhere, and an ad for a tent pop up out of nowhere. Or you be talking about a trip, I don't know, just Kings Island trip or something. Now tickets for Kings Island popping up on your phone. Yeah, you talk about it. So you think they don't know these different things, man? You think they don't know who's serving the Lord? Who trying to serve the Lord, man? They know these different things, and it's gonna come from you, man. They gonna come for you, right, Rito?
They shall be like madmen, sparing none.
Said sparing none, man. Read.
But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Doing what they was put on the earth to do. You understand? Be what? Be that rod, man. Right? Read.
For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their house.
Now you're going to be able to keep all your goods.
And cast them out of their house. They be known. Who are my chosen?
Just like we was talking about earlier, man. Then the Lord is going to know who his chosen is, man, during the week. You understand? The same thing like how we read it in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8, man. And 2 on down. Hey, the Lord wanted to see what was in their heart, man. wanted to see if they was going to continue serving him even through trials, tribulations, famines, hungry. You understand? You think kids in the wilderness of our forefathers, you think they kids wasn't complaining? You think they kids wasn't hungry? You understand? They wasn't hungry. Wives wasn't hungry. Nah. But guess what? They had to deal with it, man. They had to continue to carry on. You understand? And believe and trust in the Most High God. Right? Read on.
And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye, my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
Right.
But I will deliver you from the same.
Right, that's what we hoping, man. Portable fringes. Right? But we're on that, or sorry, that's it on that, right? We go back to second Edges of 16. Yeah. Start at verse, drop down to verse 76.
The book of second
So like
Ezra,
this, start at 75.
chapter 16 and verse 75.
Bring it up.
Be ye not afraid, neither doubt.
And you can't doubt the Lord in that day, man.
Right.
And you might have to go 3 days without eating, man.
Right.
Is that doubt gonna seep into your mind and say, dang, the Lord not really dealing with me, man? I thought the Lord was dealing with me, man. I should have. Now you rethink it every day. Now you saying, man, the Lord will destroy me. I might as well just eat. Hey, Lord willing, Abaratazar, man. Hey, he's leading us during that time of tribulation, man. Hey, he's leading us during that time of tribulation, man. You want your steps to be ordered in righteousness by the Most High God. Not your steps being ordered in righteousness by the Most High God. Not your steps being led for you to be just cut off. You understand? And it said the guide of them that what?
And the guide of them who keep my commandments.
You see that? The guide of those that keep his commandments. Right? Read on.
And precepts, saith the Most High power.
Right? The commandments and the precepts, man. Right? Let me get one more. Or just finish that verse.
And let not your iniquities.
You understand? Right? But real quick, last one. Go to the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 8, and verse 3.
Chapter 8 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
There be many created.
What the Lord say?
There be many created.
Read.
But few shall be.
Automatically make it. Don't work like that. Hey, the Lord, you gotta work at that thing, man. You gotta make your call and election sure in these last days and go as hard as you possibly can. Right? But here's the point.
So then down, O my soul.
Right?
Understanding.
You on what?
Understanding.
And what?
And devour wisdom.
And that's what you gotta do in the last days, man. Swallow down understanding and devour wisdom, man. Right? Brothers got it.
Now let's go to the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 5 and 27. Right? Second Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse number 27.
This is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
But Judith Maccabees, with 9 others,
Right?
or thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness.
Did what?
Himself into the wilderness.
So right after Mattathias withdrew himself into the wilderness, Judas did the same thing. Read on.
And lived in the mountains after the manner of the beast.
After what?
After the manner of beasts.
So like the brothers going into it's good to go over these accounts, read the scriptures, right? Because it helps build up your faith, man. And you thinking about, hey, my forefathers, we did this, man. It lets you know what to prepare for, man. You might live like a beast, right? Like an animal, man. All right? Like a dog. You know, you might have to wash up inside of a river or something. All right? You might have to chop down a tree. Find some trees, they got soap in it. You know? Kind of go into it. Some trees, they got water inside of it. You got to kind of do what you got to do, man. Mosquitoes might be out of syrup. Mosquitoes out there. All right? You got to know, man, I got to start a fire to get that smoke going so they could go. Certain things you have to know. Read on.
With this company, who fed on herbs continually.
Who what?
Who fed on herbs continually.
Hey, you might just be eating herbs, man.
All right.
It's not going to be lamb out there. Right? You got Jake. Oh, man, just give me a lamb. Right? Brother, it's not going to be a lamb in the wilderness.
Right.
All right. Damn, you haven't eaten, right? Your eyes blurry. You think you see a lawful animal, right? And it's a ferret, man. All right, that's evil, and you hawking it down. Well, brother, you might be just eating herbs. Maybe you got to get, go on a diet. Vegetarian. I'm gonna see how I do with this. All right, you got to prepare. Read on.
Lest they should be partakers of the pollution.
See that? Because during this time, these men still have to keep the commandments. You still got to keep, you and pilgrim, you still got to keep the commandments, man. Still got to keep the Sabbath days. You still got to be in tune with the moon. All right? Hey, the moon is a sign of feast, man.
Right.
You can tell by the moon when certain feast days come in, man. You can tell by the sun what time it is, right? If the sun is at the, straight up in the middle, it's not 9 o'clock at night. You would know it's at noonday, right? Because it's at the top, right? So certain things, you gotta know, because you still have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. All right, Matthew 24 and 16.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Right.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
See that? And hey, I was trying to say something. We want to prepare yourself as best as possible. So as soon as all hell break loose, brothers know the first thing they should do. The very first thing. Call upon the name of the Lord, man.
Right.
Right? Psalms 50 and 15. That's the first thing. You just stop and just call upon the name of the Lord. All right, read on.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
Right.
And woe unto them that are with child.
It says what?
Woe unto them that are with child.
Now you got certain brothers that break this down and say, yeah, you can't have children. All right. And Jacob's trouble. That's not what it's talking about. Or harder than if you didn't have a child. Right? Because, kids, they bring attention. All right, you might be on a run, the baby start crying, you trying to hide, Esau looking for you. Then they might give up your location, man. You gotta feed the child, properly nurture it, things of that nature. So the Lord said, woe unto them that are with child. Read on.
And to them that give suck in those days.
Read.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter.
Hey, that's something you have to pray for, man. Because the winter time is no joke. All right, God forbid that we're pilgrims in a time of winter. Right, it's going to be extremely difficult. Brothers know how the cold get, man. All right,
Yeah.
Can't feel your feet. All right, even the cold messes with you mentally.
Right.
All right, read on.
Neither on the Sabbath day.
Right, neither on the Sabbath. Read on.
For then shall be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Right, so that's why it's good to, read over these accounts. Read over Matthew chapter 24, because the Lord gives you certain things to be on the lookout for, and you don't want to be ignorant. All right, that's Sirach chapter 5 and 15.
Can I get the book of Matthew chapter 3 and verse 1?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
In those days came John the Baptist.
Like John the Baptist, right? Keep reading.
Preaching in the wilderness of Judea.
He was preaching in the wilderness of Judea, read.
And saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right, jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4.
Right?
And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair.
Right?
And a leathern girdle about his loins.
Now that's a rough garment, right? The camel's hair, right? You reading?
And his meat was locusts and wild honey.
Right, so the only thing he ate was locusts and honey, man. Right, that's the only thing John the Baptist ate. That was his meat. That's literally what he ate every single day. Right, living in the wilderness. So that's the kind of spirit we got to be. You got to be ready for those bringing out. So, you have a restricted diet. You ain't going to have, McDonald's and food on every corner. right? You know, America is the most overweight country, man. Right? You know, it's a very spoiled country, man. So, you know, we got to come out that mindset all together, man, because, you know, you might have to only eat locusts, man.
Right, brother.
So it's
Right? All praise to the Most High.
It's the great fat hole. The great fat hole.
You can go to the book of Acts chapter 16
Great fat hole.
and start at verse 30. Because at the end of the day, we doing all of this because we believe, man. We need to have faith, man. That's what it's all about, man.
That's right.
Right? Going through the tribulations, understanding what's to come, getting your mind ready and your body ready for what's to come, man. This goes back to having belief in the Lord. All right, read what you got.
This the book of Acts, chapter 16 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
And brought them out and said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved?
Right?
And they said, Believe on the Lord, Yahushua, Hamashiach,
Right?
and thou shalt be saved in thy
The
house.
Lord said He's able to save you and your house, man. House may have 8 people, 10 people, 2 people, 3 people. The Lord can save your whole household, man. Right, in these days. Read on.
And they spake unto him the word of the Lord, and to all that were in his house.
And there's no telling all that was in his house, man. Right? It just goes back to this having faith, that they knowing that this is not our rest. This is not our city. Go to Hebrews 13 and 15. This is not our place to be. Start at verse 14.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
For here have we no continuing city.
We don't have a continuing city here. Detroit's not my city. Right? Chicago's not my city. Right? Damn, Philly, New York, these are not my cities, man. I'm not from here. Right? I hate it here. All right, read on.
But we seek one to come.
What the Lord say?
But we seek one to come.
That's the goal. We seek a city to come. That's why we keep the Feast of Tabernacles. That's why our brothers are keeping the commandments, man. Honesty and sincerity, man. That's why we believe in the Lord, because we seek a city to come, man. Right? Go to Hebrews chapter 3. All right? We got to learn from our forefathers that were seeking a land to come. What did they do that we shouldn't do? Right? Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 7.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 3 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Wherefore, as the Holy Ghost saith, today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation, in the day of temptation, in the
The
wilderness.
temptation is going to come, man. And the Lord's going to test how much you believe. Read on.
When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years.
And that's wicked. I mean, the brother read in Deuteronomy 8 and verse 3 on down, the Lord put them in the wilderness to prove them. And they ended up proving the Lord, man. Right? Read on.
Wherefore I was grieved with that generation,
Right?
and said, they do always err in their hearts,
Right?
and they have not known my way.
Read on.
So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest.
Read on.
Take heed, brethren.
What the Lord say?
Take heed, brethren,
Read on.
lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief,
Right?
in departing from the living power.
Right? Having doubt, not having faith. The Lord said that's an evil thing to do. That's an evil thing to not have faith in the Most High, man. Right? Because at the end of the day, the Lord's coming with 2 rewards. Right? We know the reward of the kingdom of heaven, but there's another reward. Go to the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 15. Let's read about that other reward that the Lord's coming back with. All right? Start at verse 13.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed,
Made to be taken and destroyed, man. Read on.
speak evil of the things that they understand not,
Right?
and shall utterly perish in their own corruption,
Right?
and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness.
What the Lord say?
Receive the reward of unrighteousness.
There's a reward of unrighteousness, man. Yeah, there's certain. Look, everybody getting a reward, man. But some people will get the reward of righteousness, and there's gonna be a reward of unrighteousness, man. Right? There's a reward if you believe, and there's a reward if you don't believe. Let's read about that reward of unrighteousness. Right? Go to Numbers chapter 16 and verse 30. Let's get an example of what that looks like. All right? Let's see what the Lord did to those that didn't believe. All right, start at verse 30.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up with all that are pertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, Then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
And if you don't believe in the Lord, and if you don't believe what he can do for you, hey, guess what? You're provoking the Most High. And the Most High said he will open the earth. So let's see the Lord do that. Read on.
And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods.
And all their what?
And all their goods.
When you read verse 1, there was over 250 people. Imagine 250 people right now, their tents, right, their cattle, sheep, damn children, wives, everybody just goes into the ground before your eyes. Right, read on.
They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit.
Right.
And the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the
The
congregation.
Lord made them extinct. They don't exist no more. There is no graves for these people. Where did they go? I don't know. Right, they're in the ground somewhere. Read on.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
And they thought it was done. Read on.
And there came out a fire
And
from the Lord.
And there what?
There came out a fire from the
So the
Lord.
Lord said, no, he'll open up the ground, he'll close the ground, and then he's going to send fire down from heaven. Read on.
And consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
That's what happened. That's the reward of unrighteousness. I don't think, brother, we don't want the reward of unrighteousness, man. We want the kingdom, man.
Right.
And we want a city to come. And that's why we out here doing what we doing. And that's why we have to believe in the Most High. That's what you got.
Con, that's right, man. That's right. Real quick, go back to that in the book of Hebrews, real quick. Chapter 12. And give me the second to last verse, Baba. So land me back off the point the brother just said, man. Right? Book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and start at verse 28.
And verse 28. Wherefore we receiving a kingdom.
What?
Receiving a kingdom.
Right? Abaratazah, man. Hey, we're going to receive a kingdom, man. You understand? Read.
Which cannot be moved.
Which what?
Which cannot be moved.
Right? It's not going to get overtaken. Right? It's not going to come upon the face of the earth, and then the Greeks going to rise up again. Right? Or one of the dark nations going to rise up again and overtake us. Right? Then we back in the same position. Then they got to rule. It's not going to be a rulership for 40 years. It's not going to be 70 years. You understand? You might rule for 100 and something. It ain't going to be like that, man. It's not going to be able to be moved. It's going to be everlasting, man. Continually. Read.
Let us have acceptably with reverence and godly fear.
Right? We got to serve the Most High God with reverence and godly fear, man. Right? Go to the book of Genesis, chapter 35, verse 2. Right? Genesis chapter 35, verse 2, because we got to understand that in these last days, realizing the time that's approaching upon us, right? We got to cleanse our tabernacles, man. You understand? We got to cleanse our bodies, the household, all these different things have to be cleansed and purged from wickedness. Read on.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 2. Then Jacob said unto his house.
What did he say to his house?
And to all that were with him. Put away the strange gods.
Do what?
Put away the strange gods and be clean.
And that's what we got to do in the last days, man. We got to put off all the filth, man. All the strange gods. Everything that offends the Lord, has to be put off from your tabernacle, man.
Right.
It has to be. You understand? Because the time is approaching, man. And if you be seen by the Most High God in that day, you understand, with filth all on you. Your tabernacle dirty. Your tabernacle looked like it did when the Greeks besieged it, man.
That's nasty.
It can't be like that, man.
nasty.
You gotta cleanse your household in these last days, man. Read on.
And change your garments.
Right.
And let us arise.
28. Right, we can get closing precept.
The book of Luke, chapter 21, and
Right. See these places on earth and move like how we understand that
a
stuff.
second Ezra, chapter 4 and 1.
Right, because you pilgriming on the earth, it's easy to get distracted by other things that don't matter. Right, it's easy to waste your time. What do you say?
Thy heart has gone too far in this world.
Your heart cannot go too far in this world. Right, because I mean, Satan's number one job is to keep you from the tree of life. I mean, we're not getting the tree of life unless this temple is being built. And there's a lot of distractions when this temple is being built, man. Right, trying to hinder the temple with what?
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 16 and verse 13. Watch ye.
What the Lord say?
Watch ye.
Right?
Stand fast in the faith.
No, be moved.
Stand fast in the faith.
Right?
Quit you like men. Be strong.
Now let's go to the book of Leviticus.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 6 and
Verse 57. Actually, start at 56.
this is the book of 1 Kings.
And man doesn't endure. Right? Keep reading.
The Lord our God be with us as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us.
Keep reading.
His commandments and his statutes and his judgments, which he commanded our fathers.
Read.
And let these statutes and to keep his commandments.
Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse number 6. I should start at 7. Right, like the brothers were saying, the main thing that's going to deliver us, right, is faith. Right, brothers got to have faith. Right, all the time, all the work we put in, right, times like this, brothers coming together, it'll all be in vain, right, if you don't have faith in the last days. Right, if you don't apply the scriptures and truly believe the things that the Lord said to us. Right, bring it up.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy.
What the Lord say?
Wait for his mercy.
We have to wait for the Lord. Right, in those days we have to wait for the Most High to deliver us, man. Right, we can't go
outside lest ye fall.
You know?
Ye that fear the Lord, believe him.
What we got to do?
Believe him. And your reward shall not fail.
Right, and that reward shall not fail, like the brother was bringing out, Zah, right? The reward is us getting the kingdom, right? Us getting out of Babylon, right? Like the Lord promised unto us. Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy.
What is he?
Compassion and mercy.
You know?
Long suffering and very pitiful. And forgiveth sins. And saveth in time of affliction.
Read that again.
And saveth in time of affliction.
Right, so the Lord's going to have mercy upon us, man. If we had that faith and truly believe, right, he's going to save us out of the time of affliction. So all praises to the Most High.
The Most High God, man. And with that, come yourself. Come yourself. Come yourself.